What's up everyone? We're back with another episode of Guess the ELO today. Today's submitter is called Dibble and he's going to be submitting some Turtle Pack gameplay for us to review. Without any further ado, let's hop straight into it because there is already something I want to talk about and it hasn't even been 1 second into the video. So you can see turn 1, this is the initial shop. He has a pig, he has a pigeon and he has an ant. And I see him taking the ant. This is probably the one pet I would not want to be taking. Typically turn 1, you want to be taking pigs, pigeons, beavers and ducks especially. And if you find neither of those, then you resort to taking ants, which in this case this is his first option, which I don't quite agree with, but hopefully he manages to take the duck and or not the duck but the pig and the pigeon as well to compensate. Instead he rolls, he sees a beaver as well, but instead he takes double mosquito. So this is a very janky start. It will probably win you like the first and second turn, but from then on you're going to be falling off quite a bit. Whereas if your opponent is going for those scaling pets like the duck and the pigeon and stuff like that, they're going to be quite far ahead. They're actually playing Star Pack. Worst player of history, isn't that Mikudo, Mystery Satoshi? We are living in a small world. This is another person who I know. We're in fact in the same team to a team. And he also has his SAP YouTube channel, which I hopefully remember to put in the description. But I see him playing Star Pack, very interesting. The methodology when playing against Star Pack does change a little bit, as we take 2 ducks. That is pretty good. Apple, you should not be buying apple. We do buy apple, which is bad. It's bad because instead we could have rolled 3 times, hopefully finding another mosquito or another duck to secure a level up for next turn. When you're playing against Star Pack, you generally want to input a lot of tempo. So that way you can actually dominate the early game and hopefully transition into a late game that can also defeat Star Pack. But now we get no level ups, and especially when you have ducks, you really want to be buffing a tier 3 with the ducks. So let's see what happens. Mikudo also didn't buy 5 pets for whatever reason, he only settled on 4 pets. And at least we win. Actually, it doesn't really matter because we didn't win last turn, so we should have actually positioned for a loss, curiously enough, to get snail value. So a lot of peculiarities happening in the early game. Hopefully we will get to iron those out in the mid to late game as we pick up double flamingo. You do not stack. When you take flamingos, you generally want to keep them separate to double dip on the double effect of the double flamingo. Also, you could have just considered selling both of the ducks onto the flamingos, getting them 2 extra HP each instead of combining. The way you're playing right now is like you're going to be going for a turn 5 lotto, going for a lot of tier 4s, which can potentially be good, but then again, if you do hit a penguin on turn 5, you would be buffing a duck and a flamingo with those, and duck especially I don't think you want to buff. Okay, what else are we going to see? We skip a kangaroo and a snail. If you've watched my previous video, you would know that I'm such a big fan of the kangaroo in particular, so I'm not really the biggest fan of that. Hopefully you don't skip this peacock or spider at least. Otherwise, what are we even looking for? I guess you do skip. And I guess you're saying you want mosquito, you want duck, and you want flamingo for your level ups and nothing else. Which, okay. I wouldn't advise for you to be playing that way against Star Pack in particular, but it can potentially work out if you get lucky. Ideally, you don't want to be relying on luck though, right? Here, Mikudo is going for jellyfish, and thankfully you do end up winning. I think a better Star Pack player, for example, someone like Fritz, who is like top 10 in the entire world, would not have let you win this turn that you just picked up. But yeah, it's a good thing worth noting. Like, just try not to be super greedy with levels and stuff. Here you go, you do find one level though. Hopefully you manage to find two more, as the shop is extremely painful. Let's take a look at this once again. Just because of your decision last turn to go for these three pets and nothing else, what did you end up skipping? You skip a peacock, you skip a flamingo. Actually, flamingo you do end up taking, right? Okay, you do take the flamingo. Then you skip another kangaroo. Could have had two kangaroos by now. Dirty rat I won't count as you being skipping because it's not a good pet to begin with most of the time. Another peacock. I think you've seen three peacocks by now. You could have had a level 2. Another peacock as well as two snails. You could have even had a level 2 snail by now. Another spider, two more kangaroos. At this point, you might have even had a level 3 kangaroo. As a whole, you got an extremely lucky shop, but you just chose to neglect all of it in favor of some tier 1s that you might not even find at the end. Thankfully, you did find the duck though. You didn't find the mosquito, but thankfully you did find the duck. And once again, there's a spider in here as well, so you could have had a level 2 spider as well, if you were going for that. Hopefully this turn you continue to win. You're going to change the language to German, okay. Thankfully I know most of the pet's abilities by heart, so I shouldn't be too concerned with this. I was thinking you were going to type something to me via the redeem message thingy as you drop this round. See, you were super greedy and you actually got punished right there, which is super unfortunate, right? You didn't even get the ultimate payoff of having 3 level ups. You only have 2 of them, one of which you have to pay for. You have to buy the duck after all. But let's see what you find. Also, very good initial shop. You have a kangaroo and you have a giraffe. Quite nice. Let's see what you're going to be doing. You change the language once again. Okay, you're just doing this to confuse me at this point. I understand. You find the skunk turtle combo and then you find the skunk deer combo. Honestly, very good choices right here. I don't really see the opponent's team right now, but I don't think you need the skunk, right? They didn't have a big bunch of HP. You can just settle for something like a deer turtle perhaps, or skunk turtle. I would like basically any of these. Any combo you choose to pick up, I think I'll be pretty happy with. So you pick up a skunk, you pick up another skunk, you see a double, so you take a double. Completely understandable. But as of now, I don't think the skunk is going to be super useful in the fight. Maybe it's going to become a little bit more useful later on. Also, you should probably be picking up this giraffe just to start buffing up the skunk. You have a lot of HP on it, but you don't have a lot of attack. And hopefully you're going to be peeling the flamingo onto the skunk pretty soon, so you should be getting some more attack that way. Let's see what you do. You're a little bit confused, which is completely understandable. You give up on the mosquito, you pick up the giraffe, which I'm very proud of you for. You could have frozen the pills that you had, but it's no big deal. You're probably going to find some more as you actually win this turn. That's very impressive. That's good stuff. You pick up another giraffe. Maybe you could have ran them separate as you're going to switch to another language once again. Is this Spanish? Which one did you pick? Which one was this? It doesn't... Oh, Espanol. Okay, it was Spanish. Okay. Let's see what you're going to roll into, as I'm having a very fun time right now, trying to decipher what any of these words mean, as you find yet another level on the giraffe. I say yet another like it's your second level up, it's actually your first level up. Please remember to buff the already buffed up skunk as well before you terminate your turn now. Thank you, thank you. Exactly, that's how you should be running it. Good stuff. And now we're just esperando oponentes. As we change the language once again. This time it's going to be that language. It's going to be that language, which I'm not entirely familiar with, as you can probably tell. You win this out once again. That's very impressive. Wow. Good stuff. You're going to be taking a level up as well into a monkey. Okay, this is looking extremely good right now. You should be immediately taking the monkey, I think. Yep, good stuff. What language is this? I don't want to be I don't want to be offensive and I don't want to look dumb, so if you know what language this is, please leave it in the comments below. I'm also farming a little bit of engagement with the viewers this way. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it because this run in particular is brain flooding me right now with a lot of linguistic information. Do not sell the flamingo, please. The hippo might be good. You don't need it just yet, I don't think. Pill you do find as well as a pair. You don't want to freeze the pair. You also want to buff the flamingo, which I thought we froze the pill for. Very interesting. I would advise for putting the skunk first position so it can receive the monkey buff. And then maybe with the giraffe you buff like a monkey and the skunk. Or you can buff the flamingo and keep better positioning, whatever you prefer. Also, did we freeze the skunk? I hope we did, so we can have a level up for turn 9. Thankfully we did freeze it. The pair also should have been frozen because I don't think you're going to be rolling for much next turn. The more I look at this hippo, the more I actually enjoy it because you won't have much stuff to do next turn, so it's pretty good. As is your positioning, very good positioning that gets you yet another victory. You get a penguin, you get a turtle, you get to change the language to Italiano. Okay, okay. I love this. I'm very much enjoying this right now. We buff double skunk. Are we going 5 of a kind skunk? Apparently not. If we're not going 5 of a kind skunk and some kind of meme team, I would suggest that you buff 2 different pets with the flamingo. Because next turn you're going to be combining the skunks anyway, right? So you just end up losing a +2/+2 that the flamingo provided. Instead, you could have buffed up the hippo, which I thought you were actually planning on doing, or at least buffing up the giraffe instead. Turtle also worth considering bringing into the team instead of the hippo, because it will provide a very crucial melon. Maybe it gets you a good trade. Maybe you should be buying the salad now, since you don't have anything you're looking for, other than the stuff you already have in shop. You're just going to take your level up now and you're going to find another monkey. Okay, that's also quite incredible. Good stuff. But it does accentuate the point, right? If you were going to be taking the level on the skunks regardless, you didn't need to buff both of the skunks now with the flamingo. You could have gotten a +2/+2 on this guy, or a +2/+2 on this guy, or even a +2/+2 on this guy. So yeah, I guess we fine turno. I should start reading all of these out just to improve my linguistic skills a little bit more. Okay, we're switching language once again. This time it's going to be English. Okay, English is a language I do know. Thank you, thank you. Also, are we having some connectivity issues? The buttons are like blacked out, but I don't think you actually submitted a team, weirdly enough. We could just leave the time to do its magic and end the turn for you forcefully, so I guess it's not the end of the world. As we switch language once again, maybe? Okay, no. Yes, no, yes. Display, audio, gameplay, general, okay. We're just spending our sweet time together, I guess. Okay, what's going to be happening? This is looking quite okay, should be a win, even though it's a close one. Mikudo is down to 1 HP, but you should be able to close out relatively easily, especially if you pick up a turtle pill. Good level up, gorilla is good as well, and yeah, at this point it's very difficult to imagine how Mikudo would want to recover. You also sold a hippo in favor of a scorpion, which I don't like that much because the Hippo was already taking out their biggest unit in a single hit, so it was basically doing the same function as the Scorpion would. And Scorpion and Skunk are also a little bit anti-synergistic because the Skunk is already reducing their highest HP guy by 66%. So you don't need the Scorpion unless they have multiple big guys. Also, please don't buff the Scorpion with the Monkey. Thank you. Thank you, he sees it. Maybe Freeze Cow is a good option. Maybe we sell out of the Scorpion. Maybe we buff the Scorpion with the Monkey. Despite me not really enjoying that. Okay. Are we going to finish off on this turn? It seems like Mikudo is starting to catch up a little bit with the Triceratops and stuff. If he finds a leech, for example, I think he's going to be quite comfortable. He finds a Spinosaurus Orca. And he's going to be winning this turn, quite comfortably even. But you have a lot of time to finish the game off, I think. This is why you don't want to buff the Scorpion, right? Because now you want to sell out of it. You either want to sell out of the Scorpion or the Giraffe. Preferably you want to sell out of the Scorpion in order to keep your scaling. But at the end of the day, I think you should be good to go, right? You want to buff up the Scorpion some more. I would suggest buffing up the Gorilla instead, so it can more easily survive a hit and get its coconut. Instead we have an 11-11 Scorpion. Quite interesting, dare I say. Yeah, it doesn't beat over the 13-13 Jellyfish still, which I assume has grown even more this turn, so that is quite unfortunate. But once again, you have level 2 Giraffe, level 2 Monkey, you have immense scaling, so you should be able to close out no matter what you do. Also, we just witnessed how Pack 3 can counter the Scorpion with the Baguette, but thankfully your Scorpion is so big that it just one-shots anyway, which is kind of funny. Are you going to be winning this turn? It's kind of close. If your Skunk was a little bit bigger, you could have won. But yeah, I guess now the Scorpion is just a pet without an ability. If you want to counter the Baguette, I suggest putting the Skunk first position, so the garlic can get removed instead of the peanut. You can just put the meatball instead. That's also a very creative solution. I commend you for that solution. You can put a chili, you can buy a pizza. I think you just spam foods and hope that you win. You can do Mammoth Pill and then bring in the turtle, which I would have agreed with heavily. But instead you just bring in the turtle and you pill it. And maybe now you bring in the mammoth. You're looking at the Spinosaurus, yeah. If you want to counter Spinosaurus, you can counter it better with multiple crocodiles instead of a dolphin. And also the Spinosaurus has a pepper, so it's not necessarily going to die in just a single snipe. Thankfully now we are buffing the gorilla as intended. We could have actually killed the jellyfish had we hit the 50-50. I think if we had killed the jellyfish instead of hitting the Spinosaurus, it would have been a guaranteed win. Instead, they just get a hedgehog, they get screwed over, and we're going to be winning off the back of that. Okay, that was pretty funny. And we end up winning. So I think there's enough length at the end of the video for us to be revealed how much ELO this gamer has. And for my guess, I'm going to say something along the sort of 1600 to 1650 ELO. A lot of misplays, a lot of things that can be polished, but also a lot of understanding of the game mechanics of the different packs. And also this meatbone purchase was quite impressive in order to counter the baguette, which I honestly would not have thought of. That was very creative and I commend you for that. So let's take a look. What ELO are you at? We're going to be enjoying our sweet victory over Mikudo. You're actually 1550, so a little bit lower than I thought, which is super good for you, I think. You have a lot of room to grow. I can easily see you becoming a way stronger player. And yeah, as a whole, good job. If this is 1500 gameplay, then this is very impressive. I am stunned. Good job. I can't repeat this enough. So yeah, I guess this is going to be it for this video. I really hope you found this informative, and if you did, I really hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I guess we're going to be finishing this off in German, as we did see German a little bit into the video. So tschüss, I guess.